very quickly, so you see him pick through there. So what do I fancy? No, that was no good bit there. So for pandas, it's all about conserving energy. So that's why they sit like that. It's basically to free up the front paws for getting a hold of bamboo. And it also means that they don't have to go very far. They can just reach for the next piece when they're ready. Now he's going to eat about 40 kilograms of that a day. That's about a third of his body weight. That's a lot of bamboo. It's not the only thing pandas eat though. Pandas actually are technically omnivores. A very small percentage of their diet is actually meat. Now, if this was in the wild, it's likely to be that they scavenge the meat, although they are actually capable of catching small things. And they'll also eat wild fruit as well. Now, we have to tailor for that. So what we give them here on the top of the bamboo is carrot, apple, honey, and instead of meat they get a special sort of a pellet cake recipe from eggs and lentils and soya called Panda cake. And yeah, that's basically the total of their diet. Now he's obviously tearing off this sort of the outer part of that and then chomping down on the stalks. They eat the stalks and they eat the leaves, but they're not very good at digesting. So what you will often find is the little that they digest, good energy, there's a lot of waste left over. And I'm sure you kind of know what I'm going towards here when I say they create a lot of waste. Any kids here want a really disgusting fact where when you go back to school, pandas poo about 40 to 50 times a day. And they're big, they're about the size of your hand. Now, for a panda, leaving your many poos about is very useful because it marks your territory. If you're a panda, you will live alone and you don't want other pandas coming into your place and eating all your food. So if you leave your drop-ins and maybe little puddles of wee about, it gives other pandas, oh, that's another panda's area, I better not get in there, I don't want to cause any trouble. But it's actually been incredibly useful for us studying wild pandas. Now, I'm sure you know pandas are from China, but they're from a few areas that are quite remote. They're up in the mountains. And if you wanted to try and find the wild ones, you'd have a job in your hand because they probably avoid you. They like it nice and quiet. We basically, to count them, go about collecting their drop-ins. So if you want to be a panda,